We will absolutely take it. And then the Malphite and the tried and true for any top laner that is in need of an instant impact ultimate. You know, whatever happens in lane doesn't matter. You roll up to a team fight, you press on the right target, and the team appreciates you for it. No matter what happens in lane, like, Malphite is there for you. Loaded onto the Rift. Will GGL try for an invade? They're heading towards one of the side lane brushes. Will Yone be able to spot them in time? Pings not coming out. Don't think GGL was spotted there, but Yone is in a position where he can't really be caught by any of his CC. So GGL will just settle for a ward, and that's it. I don't think AST will be able to get any vision on the other side in response.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, this AST draft should be very formidable in the late game. They even have the tools to fight in the early stages. But I feel like that does require the Yone to be in a good position, first and foremost. EGL with a very nice trade. Yeah. You pretty much always have to be aware of this kind of potential situation where the enemy bot lane just gangs up on you in the forwardmost brush. And Clefairy lost a lot of HP there. That's 2 potions down already on the Morgana. They will have the push as expected. And it's up to them to make sure that this early lead does not turn into a bigger one. Small Walrus using a lot of mana to try and trade back, but Blood is not really losing a lot of HP. Johnny G just took a tower shot, and that puts him dangerously low. Foxwell does not have Ignite, so it won't be enough to secure the kill there. Johnny G had to flash away just to stay alive. Yeah, that one misstep almost resulted in a solo kill. Foxwell, one of the top UNL players. One of the best UNL players, period, at this point. Like, you have to be on your toes at all times. No matter what position he's in, no matter the champion he's playing, it's safe to say that he's built a reputation for himself, and so did the AST jungler, and now they're both ganging up on this Akali. He's going back in, though. The bandage toss lands onto the Ivern. What a flash from Big A, and that forces the flash from Seraflop on the Ivern. Very well played in the 2v2 from GGL. That will lead us to a little bit of a downtime. Sorry for that one. He's absent for a bit. Looks like, yeah, we just seen 2 kills on our screen, and there's another one for GGL. Johnny G gets back at Hawksbill here. And GGL's bot lane also holding their own. So GGL very much taking advantage of their early game tools, getting leads. This is what we wanted to see from them. We'll see if we can keep it going. Like, you have to remember, this is not the strongest roster that GGL have at their disposal. Or at least it would seem that way. Maybe we learned something new about GGL. Maybe they learned something new about themselves. Maybe if they get a win here, that would be absolutely amazing. But there's still plenty of work to do. Well, that's Kled very much out of position, and the Iron Q is able to bring Malphite and Yone closer to the action, and they're just going to deliver that kill to the Yone, as they should. Very easy kill for AST. And the sooner this Yone comes online, the better it is, really. That would allow Astral Infection to make moves against GGL even in the mid game. Johnny G is definitely unafraid of his opponent. Despite everything that happened, you have to stay strong and fight back. Falling still in a nice position. Obviously, it hurts that he lost that kill, and the Draven reset his stacks. Oh, Johnny G going for a really big trade onto the Yone that forces out the ultimate from both sides. Johnny G has to flash just to keep himself alive, and once again these aggressive plays that almost get him killed, but he continues to play on the edge. And now the Surfing ult is huge, but the AST counterattack is even better. Ivern coming in with his CC, Daisy up, Raven dies once again. Westy, without his flash, absolutely helpless, and that's another kill for the Ivern. And any other extra kill on Ivern is also quite valuable. You have to remember, support items are relatively cheap, while being very effective at the same time. Though now we're going to see Curse of the Sad Mummy come in from Big A. That's going to be a kill for the Akali. Even the charge from Kled for good measure, making his way from top to mid, but wasn't necessary at the end of the day. We'd like to see the activity in the early game continue from GGL. We got the first dragon as well. Definitely not intimidated by the weight class of their opponents. And we'll see what GGL decides to do on this next Dragon Timer. They will have a Mumu ultimate ready by the time that happens. But now in a bunch of trouble, the Iron Q lands once again, and Seraphine cannot escape the CC chain. Hawksbill once again taking the kill credit. And surely he's pretty much close to Blade of a Ruin King, if not just able to purchase it entirely. Whirling Death comes out from Bandivar to clear out that wave, perhaps afraid of a dive opportunity that could have presented itself. BGL trying to get some response play going. Meanwhile, Seraflop is in mid, once again pressuring the Akali. Big A lands another bandage toss, but Dark Shackles from the Morgana in response. And the nice Dark Binding there on a stunned target. Now Encore used to disengage. And ASD want to keep the fight going, but without the Fate sealed, I don't think there's enough target access. But this does mean that GGL will be forced away from this objective. At the end of the day, I feel like ASD will be very happy with how things turned out. Oh, Johnny G decides to go for it. He knows Yone doesn't have his ultimate, but does he have enough damage to keep the fight going? He just needed one more empowered auto attack to get the kill, but instead, it's Hawksbill that wins the 1v1. The teleport comes in from the Kled. GGL wants to interrupt this, they go onto the Morgana, but Black Shield will not do a thing. Brandivar gets the cash in. And although Hawksbill got that kill solo, now he's without his teleport, he's low, he has to base. GGL, they did not let AST just get that dragon for free. That second dragon going over to them. Quick response from GGL was on point. With that being said, AST, they're still keeping the gold lead pretty much non-existent. We're just completely even on the scoreboard when it comes to gold. There's plenty of super scalers on the enemy team you have to worry about. BGL may have just found the pick onto the support. Rather the main enchanter of AST. Forces out the flash from Seraflop. They have the Malphite ready, but Yone is not there to fight. I think ASD just have to let this one go. 4 grubs to 2. Johnny G continues to trade, but he's so low. The Fate Sealed will close the gap. And it's another solo kill on the cards for Hawksbill. Kled goes right through that route and secures a kill in response on the Morgana. Now Malphite very much in a lot of trouble, but he unstoppable forces the backline and flashes away to buy time. Big A doesn't really land on anything with his Curse of the Sad Mummy. Yone is still so tanky. Just with his Blade of the Ruin King. Gets one more kill before he falls. BGL playing fast League of Legends, but they have to be careful. Because Ivern can really throw a wrench in all these plans, for sure. It's one of those champions that is really effective at just ruining all of your engage options. So strong with Daisy, all the shields, redemption already completed. I assume the next... Well, actually, I'm not sure what the next item will be. It could be Mikhail's, just for that CC cleanse. for any of the carries, but while that is happening, Small Walrus, you were definitely not safe under that tower. Both jungle and mid came in there for the easy kill. And this does create a conundrum for AST when it comes to the side lane. This Kled is a he's in a very good spot. But to be fair, so is Vione, so I imagine. I mean, it's probably better for Malphite to continue to match Kled for now. I feel like he would just have even more of an issue silencing against the Akali. But no use talking about that right now. Brandavar had to burn both of his summoners just to get away from the ambush that AST set on him. Dragon was about to come up and AST are keeping up the pressure. Raven without his summoners has a big target painted on his back. Daisy available, Fate Sealed available. AST are posturing for this dragon take. They do not want GGL to get a third dragon. And GGL, honestly, it doesn't feel like they are quite ready to respond to this. Right now, GGL is absolutely about to lose their Draven for free, but the double teleport comes in. And how is it going to turn out? The AST members are just getting demolished one by one. They lose their top and support. That's now a very bad spot they found themselves in. Fate Sealed already gone from Vione. AST have no more arguments to fight with. They'll just have to leave this bot lane tower and potentially give up the dragon on top of that. Herald is still going. No one is going to take it to charge into the tower. Instead, GGL just decide to get the dragon while they still can, and this is such a big objective take for them. And now Hawksbill in so much trouble. The Whirling Death is going to execute him. Nice aim from Brandavar, and GGL are not stopping with their offensive. Clefairy has to flash next. This bold and brash approach from GGL right now is working wonders. They are punishing AST for overextending a little bit, especially on that bot lane play. They thought they would get the kill fast there and then try to disengage, but the Seraphine Encore bought a lot of time. And the minion wave behind them allowed for a double teleport to come in, and that was absolutely a crucial play. Now GGL can really start pushing their lead with how strong Akali and Kled are. I think there's definitely an argument to be made that GGL are in the driver's seat right now, and we'll have to see how they keep this going. We are in the mid game. Their lead is more than enough to win fights. We'll have to see just how well they can play around this Yone, especially, who is still a massive threat to the backline. And then the Ivern with Moonstone and Redemption is still something you have to worry about. Wow, Draven is going straight onto the Ivern. BGL diving way too deep. I feel like Fonzie has to run away. The Soul Shackles will escape the Kled. But Westy will not be so lucky, and GGL go for his play without the Akali being present. Big A did not even have the opportunity to get an ultimate off. Now he goes in with Curse of a Sad Mummy, but there's no follow-up damage anymore. Play was already there. Play was already dead. Seraphine also looking at a gray screen. I mean, they get one back, I suppose. They get two, actually! Big A completely just... no fear in his body. He continues to push forward, and he gets 2 more kills for GGL. That pretty much saves the play. But it's getting a little bit dicey. Ivern's getting more and more support items. Yone has Negatron Cloak now, which will help a lot versus the Akali, and he's pivoting towards another crit item, which should give him 100% once Shield Bow is completed. So soon he will be able to spike incredibly hard. I feel like he's already in a very good spot against the Akali, and even versus this Kled, he should be able to hold his own. So now it's just up to AST to try and buy time and not go for any crazy fights. But as I was saying, Malphite is definitely the one struggling in this matchup versus the Akali. The lane allocations are not helping there. But Malphite did manage to bait out Akali's ultimate here. So this could be Yone at an advantage. Johnny G continues to push forward, but he doesn't really have much follow-up from his team. Kled applying pressure on the other side. EGL already positioned towards the dragon. AST, their mid wave is not quite pushed in yet, so they don't really have a response when it comes to mid lane tower. GGL, they want to find a fight. The bandage toss will miss, but AST, they have to be careful. They can't just walk up like this. The ultimates from GGL are absolutely huge, but what a stop, what a block from Hawksbill. That stops the charge from Kled. And that might have been what just saves AST from certain doom here as GGL continue to push forward, but Akali is not going to find the engage, but Curse of a Sad Mummy lands onto 5! GGL, how much can they get done? It's 2 kills already, with plenty of low health bars on the other side. Yone's already dead though, and it's just Smolder with the damage, but he doesn't have quite enough stacks to turn this around just yet. And Big A on Amumu is absolutely making stuff happen just at the right time. Chemtech Soul is up, and Seraflop will not even try to go for any Drake Steel heroics. This is just Chemtech Soul for GGL. They get 4 dragons. No dragons to AST's name. I mean, this is not over by any stretch of the imagination, but you have to admire the determination that GGL is playing with right now. They are just absolutely giving it to AST. They are still on the clock. You have to remember, you're playing versus a Smolder and a Yone. But things are still looking good. If we look at Smolder right now, he's at 219, so we are almost at that breaking point where Smolder's biggest spike on the passive comes in. GGL, it has to be said, they are looking much better in the team fights compared to previous seasons. With Big A and Johnny G leading the charge. Also, Fonzie unafraid to follow up on any kind of engage that GGL are seeing. AST are still feeling the pressure. They are still on the back foot here. The teleport comes out from Yone just to save bot lane tower, so this is definitely a signal for GGL to just start the Baron. They saw the Yone TP in broad daylight. Now Kled TPs to the fight. And we could just have a big brawl on our hands right here, but does GGL want to get this 50-50? Iron could steal the Baron, and he does just that! AST get the Baron, Iron dies, but GGL will be just fine with that. If they can get away with their lives, but what an unstoppable force from Small Walrus to turn things around! AST! What a counter-engage from Small Walrus when they needed it most, and Smolder is on the board for real this time. He's well and truly online. AST! What a fight! What a Baron steal followed up by the crazy counter-engage Malphite ultimate, and GGL are reeling from that one. What in the world? But you have to question the validity of that Baron attempt. Like, you know their jungler is around, you're forcing the Baron, you're risking that 50-50, and they did not get the Baron. That was GGL losing their cool, going for a Baron where perhaps it was just more advisable to try for something else. And all of a sudden, AST, I'm not going to say they're in control of this game, but they just got us. That was the second win that they needed. Smolder on 3 items, looking very strong indeed. And how is it going to look from here? Oh. Led got caught by the Iron Q. AST want to keep going. Nice root from Clefairy. Kled could be in a lot of trouble. He has to charge away just to stay alive. But there's not a lot happening on the other side. Oh, Westy, that is not where you want to be. Surely this is a dead support on our hands. Uses the Encore, but I feel like... Hold on. Well, the Unstoppable Force comes in right now. I guess they were just trying to save the ultimate in case a better opportunity comes up, but they decide to just settle for that pick. That works well enough for them. Yeah, GGL are a little bit rattled right now, it feels like. Making those individual mistakes. Elder's coming up. And this fight could very well be the decider. Now it's so hard for GGL to approach. They have Kled back in the side lane. They will try to spread AST thin a little bit. Just to make sure that they don't have everyone ready at the objective when it comes up. Now how are they going to play this out? EGL should be able to get the mid lane push on this wave right here. That gives them access. That gives them the potential vision coverage. But AST have already come into the river from the other side. So we're basically having a standoff right here. The bandage toss whiffs. It's AST with the better positioning. And the Iron brushes are set up as well, so it's even harder for GGL to find the approach we were looking for. Unstoppable Force onto the Seraphine, maybe a little bit premature, but that's 1 kill already on the board. Curse of a Sad bombing onto the backline, and it's Yone being attacked by the Akali right now. Akali with so much damage, the Smolder dies. The most important member of AST right now, already gone, but Yone is still there. Hawksbill could still turn this around, and he goes on to the Draven. He doesn't move back in time, and AST still win out on the fight. They may have lost the Smolder, but Hawksbill is there to save the day for the team. And that is Elder Dragon for AST. This is potentially what decided the game right here. I mean, the fight from GGL, I like how they approached it, I like the idea, but I feel like this is the point of the game where Ivern just reaches critical mass and just prevents a dive like this from really being effective. Johnny G is trying really hard to keep GGL inside of this game, but man, Ivern is just an annoying... He's just an annoying champion, man. There's a reason he's picked in pro play all the time. They finally, you know, feels like pro play has finally warmed up to Ivern, and it's for good reason. This champion is definitely able to just do a lot with very little. Well, it's honestly, Daisy's like a second champion if you think about it. But now Fonzie in a lot of trouble, flashes away from Unstoppable Force. AST feels like they still want to try and get that pick, but there was a tower in the way. Yone is not available in the side lane. AST will just play this one out patiently. Over Root actually lands onto Akali, but AST recognized that that was not the right time to pull the trigger. Now, how are they going to make this happen? It looks like they'll just be looking for a fight aggressively, given that they still have Elder Dragon. They will dare GGL to walk up. And if GGL don't bite, then that gives AST the option to just transition towards a Baron. And this is where GGL has to be really careful, although Elder Dragon, I think, has just run out. But GGL are not there in time to try and stop his Baron from happening. Yone is zoning like 3 members all on his own, and AST, with the pressure of the Elder Dragon, have now secured the Baron on top of that. But GGL are not resting on their laurels here. They want to try and get something back while AST are still recalling. Oh, Brandovar, if he got caught by that root, it would have been curtains for him, but he continues to position quite aggressively. I mean, Small Walrus is here with Flash and Unstoppable Force. I would think AST would look for a big play as they're chasing down EGL, but Small Walrus doesn't go for it. I feel like that was the opportunity to make something happen, but now GGL, maybe it's their turn to land a big initiation. Oh no, AST, they found out Fonzie's positioning, and GGL are nowhere near to help their top laner. That's kill number 5 for Smolder. For a moment, it looked like a fight that GGL could have taken, given that Yone was still busy fighting Kled on the top side of the map. But it didn't quite materialize for them. Now AST, finally, this is their turn to knock on the enemy base, make something happen. Big cooldown already already depleted for GGL. Encore down. Brandavar uses Cleanse. And the pressure is definitely mounting, as Yone is now applying pressure in the bottom lane. Now that 2 minion waves are hitting the structures at the same time, it's that much harder for GGL to find the right angle, but Akali goes for it. They kill the Ivern first. Redemption comes out anyway, and Spore is pretty much still safe in this fight, but GGL continue to push forward. Yone's behind them now. Smolder's still alive. But GGL, they have used so much, and now Hawksbill with the fattest fate sealed. He's found this game. He just absolutely shuts the door down on GGL's chances of winning this game. Although maybe I've spoken too soon. Akali's still trying to turn this around, but Smolder is the only person left alive, and he will do the honors by himself. AST. They stand tall, they believe in their scaling, and they win out in the team fights. Despite the really good early game from GGL, despite all the amazing initiations that Big A had in the mid game, AST are the ones that stand victorious. What a game this was.